In order to do the photo weaving, you need two opposing images, so a black and white image and a color image, or maybe two from a magazine, so the colors are very different, like these two. Portraits work really well for this assignment. So I'm going to use these two right here. What you would do is you would flip them over and you would make lines on them about every ½ inch. On one of them, those lines would be vertical. On the other, those lines would be horizontal. On the one that is vertical, you want to make sure that you have 1/2 inch space that you write "do not cut," because you don't want to cut those lines any further. You want that to remain together. These lines are going to go all the way across and they're going to be separated. So in order to keep them together in the right order, I would go ahead and number those. Now, if you don't have a ruler to do any of the measurements to get all of your lines nice and even, there's a couple different things that you can do. So I used a piece of balsa wood that was a ½ inch, and I just traced that piece of balsa wood. But there are a lot of things around the house that you can use. So a chapstick is just a little bit bigger than a ½ inch. So you could go across and mark at the top, mark at the bottom, like so, and then get a piece of cardboard or whatever kind of straight edge that you would have, maybe even a piece of paper, and draw your line. A bottle cap. So this is a Aquafina water bottle cap. It's about a ½ inch as well. This book, of course, books are going to vary widely, but this book is about a ½ inch wide. A dime is a little on the large side, but if you're desperate, you can use a dime. So there's a lot of things around the house that you can use if you are looking for something to measure. So the next thing that you want to do is you want to go ahead and cut these. Again, when you are cutting on the vertical strips, you are cutting just to that line. Try to be as smooth, as nice and neat as you can.
Have some fringe, right?
They're all stuck together at that do not cut line. So I'm going to set that off to the side. These ones I'm going to cut all the way through. Now, one thing I can decide is, do I want to set it and weave it through like so, or do I want to weave it through this way? So if I look at my numbering system here, if I choose to do mushroom and mushroom, then I want to start with 21. All right, so what I want to do is I want to go in and I want to find those last few to give myself a place to start. So I have 19, I have 20, 21. Now, I don't really want to start with this last one because I don't want to, I can't go all the way to the end and I don't want to have a white strip going through there. So I'm just going to toss that one. That one is my skip one, my garbage one. And I did cut a little bit far right here, so before that busts or breaks, I'm gonna put a little piece of tape in there. Okay, so I have 19 and 20. Let's see if I can't find myself an 18. Here's 17. All right. So So I'm going to go in here and first take a look to make sure that I have everything going the right way. All right, so all the numbers I want to have on the left side. Okay, so what I like to do, some people will weave kind of one in at a time and it's an over-under process. Because I know it's an over-under process, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to pick up every other piece of paper here. I'm going to set that down. And then I'm going to scoot it up. All right, so now I'm gonna take the opposite. So this piece of paper is on top, so now I need the next piece of paper to go under that one. So I'm gonna pick up every other one. And even already with just those couple in, because they have color, you can really see how that's coming across that big circle shape there. So I'm just going to repeat that process. Now I am going to, show you how to finish this out. So I start from the middle and I'm trying to get these vertical pieces to just snug over a little bit. And you see I opened up a gap there, which is good. That's what I wanted to do, because that means everything is pushing towards the middle. And those pieces are coming back and fanning out less. And so you just need to do that every once in a while. So I gotta find. So I'm gonna say that this is probably the last one here, because we don't want the white edge anyways, so. So once you get that last one in, make sure you tighten everything up as nice as you can. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take a piece of paper. Maybe you got a piece of copy paper, that would be great. If you don't have a piece of copy paper, you can use a piece of lined, paper that you have for school, or maybe even a piece of junk mail or a piece of magazine. Anything that you can put this on, that you can glue it onto or that you can tape it onto. So if you don't have glue, whether it be a glue stick like this or Elmer's glue, white school glue like Elmer's glue, that's gonna work the best. I actually don't have any right now. So I'm gonna use this. If you are somebody who doesn't have any glue whatsoever, you can use tape. So I'm gonna flip this over real quick and show you how you can do that. So you can turn your weaving over and you can just tape up along the edges, right? That's gonna be your best bet. I would tape up along the edges, maybe just in about an inch, because you're gonna cut off where the white strip is. So like where this is right here. So maybe come in just about an inch and put some tape, all right? But I am going to use a glue stick. Glue stick's not super ideal because It's meant for lightweight paper. So here I'm stacking 3 pieces of paper together. So it's not super ideal. And instead of me lifting the weaving, I am going to lift the paper onto the weaving. So then once you have that, and I would probably wait 5 minutes or so, but once you have that, you can go and cut. Do your best to cut right angles. So you're cutting off this white area. And if you just go and cut off that white area as is, it's not going to be a right angle because you've stretched it out a little bit. Like I can tell mine's fanned out a little bit. So if you use a piece of paper, whether it's copy paper that's cut from the factory, or you use a piece of ruled paper like this, and I am just tracing that 90-degree angle. Right, so I know I'm gonna get that 90-degree angle, and then I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna line up my piece of paper with that first line that I drew. You can see how off this is, right? Very, very off. But as long as my piece of paper is lined up at top with my first line that I drew, it's going to be a 90-degree angle. And the same thing down here, I want to line it up with the line that I drew, and then I'm going to draw a line here. Now I have a place to cut. It's going to be nice and even. Try not to leave any pen on there, so try to cut just right inside your pen.